Alright, you are now listening to the Blast Cast. I'm your host, just some guy named Jay. And before I really get into this installment of the Blast Cast, I just want to give some quick information. If you're an artist, a rapper, a singer in a band, and you're looking to get more exposure for your music, the best way to do it, well, one of the best ways to do it is with an email blast. And if you're interested in doing an email blast, just reach out to the Giant Blast at thegiantblast@aol.com. I'll put more information in the info box. It'll definitely be a great way to get your music out there, and also get your music out there on cell phone apps and in blogs as well. If you're definitely looking to get your music heard on a broader scale, you should definitely do it with an email blast. All right. Okay. Now, before I even get into this podcast, I want to say the reason I haven't really been doing these things is because out of all the projects, that's being done with the Giant Blast, like the podcast, the email blast, the cell phone app, the network of blogs, the podcast is the thing that's pretty much been kind of performing the worst. When I say not that bad, but just it's just something else to do now. And so with me doing the podcast, I was thinking, well, I need to scale back the workload, and kind of just focus on things that are more effective, like the email blast and the cell phone apps and the blog and things like that. So, but you know what? I was inspired to actually just do a few more of these right quick, regardless of the hits that they will get, and not just keep doing interviews, but also give commentary on what's going on in entertainment. So that's what I'll do. And on this one, I want to talk about Chris Brown, and all the things that he's been going through recently. And I just inspired, it just inspired to talk about this for a quick second. And first off, I want to say, and this might, surprise a lot of you, and what I'm about to say, you might not want to continue hearing this. I'm actually a Chris Brown supporter. I'm actually on it. But now, hold up, listen to the rest of what I'm about to say before you just, what? You support that woman beater, blah, 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 blah. Before you start accusing me and start saying all these things, listen to what I'm going to say. But if you don't want to hear what I got to say, just go ahead and click it, because it's not, I'm actually in Chris Brown's corner. I'm actually talk about why in this podcast. I want to say that it seems like Chris Brown is being set up. Now I know Chris Brown made a mistake. He beat Rihanna, and we don't really know the entire details of the Rihanna and Chris Brown situation. Rihanna, I'm not saying that it's ever right to put your hands on anyone, regardless male or female. I don't think it's just right to go on beating on anybody. But he was a kid, first of all, and who knows if Rihanna had what was coming to her. She may just be just as wrong. It's not like he just woke up on the wrong side of bed and say, you know what, I'm going to smack you. I don't think that happened, but those conversations have been done to death, since it happened. That happened like 5 years ago or 100 years ago, seems like it, but people want to keep bringing it up. Chris Brown, although he did what he did, Chris Brown paid for it. He apologized to Rihanna 1,000 times over. He apologized. He served his time, or what he had to do according to law, what the judge ordered him to do. He did it. And Rihanna has since forgiven him. They've even gotten back together, and everybody still wants to keep bringing this up, like, oh, Chris Brown did this, Chris Brown did that. He was a kid, and the reason I want to say he's being set up is because, and I know. I hope this video don't get flagged. What I'm about to say is going to sound a little controversial. I think it's more so because he's a young black man. Because these white men do worse than what he does, and all they have to do is a press conference, and everybody will just sweep it under the rug. Chris Brown did what he had to do. He apologized, and he doesn't owe the rest of the world an apology. He owed Rihanna an apology. He did what he had to do as far as, what the judge ordered him to do. That's it. He doesn't need to go he doesn't need to keep going on interviews and saying, hey, about that Rihanna situation. Look, I'm sorry. He doesn't need to do that. Everyone else needs to play it forward. It's not anyone else's business. All right. Now there's these white actors like Mel Gibson who can punch his ex-wife in the mouth while she's holding his child. Mel Gibson who can go on could go around saying all the crazy things he can say. And Mel Gibson is pretty much infallible. Nobody says, well, you know what Mel Gibson did. They don't keep bringing it up every 5 minutes. They'll talk about Mel Gibson's body of work. Now Mel Gibson is 10 times, 100 times older than Chris Brown. He should know better. Chris Brown was a young kid that just messed up. Mel Gibson should have sense. But no, the reason why Mel Gibson can go punching on women is because he's Mel Gibson, and people will we'll forgive him. We'll forgive him. Charlie Sheen is another one who acts out of pocket, and everybody forgives him. Sean Penn beat the crap out of Madonna, and we don't remember that. Because Alec Baldwin, I love Alec Baldwin. I'm a big fan of Alec Baldwin. He's another one that could run amok and nobody will say anything. Liam Neeson can get drunk and smack his wife around. These guys actually do this. Go do your research. And every single one of these old white men, they don't owe anybody an apology. But yet Chris Brown that'll be on his tombstone that he hit Rihanna. And he probably hit Rihanna once. It's probably not even something that happened every day. We don't know. It could have possibly happened. But Chris Brown, on the other hand, they want him to keep paying for this over and over and over and over and over. Same thing with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, he cheated on his wife. And the only person he needed to apologize for was to her, and not the rest of the world for what he did. But and O.J. Simpson, we want to keep bringing. Well, O.J. Well, we know about O.J. Simpson. We want to keep bringing up what O.J. Simpson did every 5 minutes, but there's oceans of white people who butcher their own children and get away scot-free with it, or they'll say, well, he has a mental illness, or that she has a mental illness. But when a black person does something, it's like, oh, that's just what they do. Well, let's throw them under the bus. Am I the only one that's seeing this? Am I the only one that's seeing this? Chris Brown he can't escape this, what he did with Rihanna. Everyone wants to just keep bringing this up, what Chris Brown did, and all these white male actors, Mel Gibson and all these other people, they can just do whatever they want to do, and we just forgive them. We just say, okay, well, okay, he's sorry, and then we just keep it moving. Why is that? If you're listening to this podcast and you disagree with me, feel free to post your comments. If you agree with me, feel free to post your comments as well. Let's have an open discussion about this. How come Chris Brown has to keep apologizing for the Rihanna situation, yet there are Liam Neesons and Mel Gibsons out there and Sean Penns who can just make mistakes left and right, and they don't have to do anything for it. They don't even have to pay for it. Are you with me? Now, I also want to talk about the Frank Ocean situation too. The Frank Ocean fight. This is another thing that they say. Okay, this is a setup. It seems like the Drake thing. I read the details where, okay, let's talk about the Drake instance for a second. They said that Chris Brown sent over a bottle to Drake as a peace offering and saying, hey, look, brother, we don't have to be doing this. We don't have to be fighting and things like that. I'm not here to fight you. And they threw the bottle back at Chris Brown and wanted to start a fight. What is wrong with that? Are you mad because he smacked Rihanna too, Drake? He didn't smack you. He didn't smack your mother. It had nothing to do with you, okay? I mean, I dated Rihanna. I don't care. It's not your fight, okay? And he was actually wanting to make peace with you. What is it? And then let's talk about this Frank Ocean situation. He gets into a fight. Frank Ocean, they say in the thing, even Frank Ocean's representatives said that Frank Ocean started it. Frank Ocean started this thing, and Chris Brown didn't want to be involved in the altercation. He wanted to keep it moving. Hey, brother, I don't want to fight. I just want to go get out of the parking lot. I don't want to fight you. But Frank Ocean, no, we're going to fight. We are going to fight. I don't like you. And now Frank Ocean started it, and it ends with Chris Brown saying, it ends with people saying, he wanted to fight Frank Ocean because he's gay and all this. He wanted to hit on Frank Ocean or blah blah blah. Chris Brown, what's wrong with this guy? Even though Frank Ocean started it, Chris Brown, he deserved it. That's how people are acting. Like what? That is wrong. Frank Ocean started the fight, and if Chris Brown knocked him out, he just, Frank Ocean started it, and actually, this is what I actually think happened. I think their entourage were fighting each other in the studio while Frank Ocean and Chris Brown kind of just sat back and sipped wine glasses and going, oh no, darling, I'm not going to get my hands dirty while smoking a cigarette. That's probably what actually happened, or either that or Frank Ocean just wanted to have an excuse to caress himself up against Chris Brown's body. That's all he wanted to do. As you know how Frank Ocean is. Well, anyway, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, why are you passionate about this? Why do you care so much about Chris Brown? Chris Brown doesn't care about you, and probably so, rightfully so. Chris Brown doesn't know who I am, but still, I'm just kind of looking at Chris Brown, and it seems like it's just an ongoing hate. It's like an uphill battle with him. It's just. Everyone wants to continue throwing him under the bus about a mistake that he made 100 years ago. But yet and still, there are other entertainers who happen to be a different skin color, who have done worse things than Chris Brown, who have gotten away with it. We forget it. We forget. We all say, oh, well, Mel Gibson, yeah, you know what, we still love you. But Chris Brown, it's like we have to, this is going to be on his tombstone. This is actually, we read the newspaper and say Chris Brown, most famous for beating up Rihanna, he bought a Snickers bar today. It's like it's gotten to that. And it bothers me that this is how it does. Not that it's personal, but am I the only one that's seeing this? If you have any kind of if anyone wants to weigh in on this or what I'm saying, feel free to post your comments. Let's get a debate going. If not, we'll just leave it alone because I just wanted to give the podcasting, the Blastcast another go. This time without an interview. So just feel free to post your opinions at the bottom. And we'll talk about this. Also, if you're an artist and you're looking for email blast, you're looking to for more exposure for your music, you should definitely do an email blast. You can reach out to the Giant Blast at thegiantblast@aol.com. Follow the Giant Blast on Twitter at @thegiantblast. All the information will be down on the info box. And again, I'm just some guy named Jay. That's who I am. And everyone take care. All right? Oh, yeah, and I also wanted to add, for anyone that plans on saying, oh, well, I'm not going to support I'm not going to check out the Giant Blast, or I'm not going to support that because he supports a woman beater and blah, 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 blah. No, screw that. We don't support women beaters. We support a young black man who made a mistake, who just can't seem to get a break. That's what we support. Because, and if you're saying that, then stop looking at Mel Gibson movies and stop looking at Charlie Sheen television shows and things like that if you honestly feel that way. Okay? So no, it's not about that, and that's way in the past. It's just that Chris Brown just keeps to continue. He's like people are still messing with him about this, you know. Whereas other types of people, you know what I'm saying, can get away with murder. So basically, that's really the theme of this. And like I said, if anybody wants to post their opinions or want to, say, weigh in on this topic, feel free. And that's it.